Let's hear it. I see a lot of folks in chat already. Say hi and let me know if you can hear. No audio. Abhishek says no audio. Um, can somebody confirm? Vikram is there. Ashish is here. Abhishek is here. Or you aren't audible. Audio. Okay, all right. There's some issue with the audio. Just get it. Trying to fix it. Yeah, it's okay. Now it's fine. Hi, hi. All right. Hello, folks. Hello. Tell me where you're from, and we're gonna get started with Hackout 2020, a brand new version of Hackout. So Hackout has been a very long running event at Headout. It's almost a tradition at Headout now. And what we do is we can go to call. What we used to do is go to colleges, different colleges, organize this, connect with different folks, connect with the community, with and connect with awesome, talented people out there, and hopefully some of them also join the fam. And looks like everything is good. We can hear you. Audio is good. All right, all right. Vasepur. Somebody is from Vasepur. Clearly. All right. So yes. Hello from Jaipur. Lakshya says hello. I am from Nepal. Ashish says hello. Hello. Good to see you there, Madhuri. Welcome, Madhuri. Welcome. Raghav from Bangalore. Awesome. Hackout 2020. Ritik says all right. Mirzapur. Wow. We have people coming from all over the country. That is awesome. Awesome. We have amazing speakers lined up for you. We have tons of awesome, fun stuff lined up for you. But before we begin, I just wanted to give you a background of what happened with what is special about Hackout 2020. So, like I was saying, we used to go to colleges. Like the entire engineering team would get excited. They would pack their bags and like head out to meet all of you folks. But then COVID happened, the pandemic happened, the lockdown happened. But that didn't stop us. We were resourceful enough. We were like, let's not only like do an online event, which is the next obvious and logical step, but let's take it one step further. Let's take it one notch further and make it extra special. So this time we are doing something we have never done before, which is we have an awesome lineup of amazing speakers for you. And before I even get there, I want to know from you, what are you looking for from a Hackout, and what are you excited about? Like, are you participating? Are you here for speakers? What is it? And which speaker are you looking forward to today? Today we have three speakers for you, if you've seen the lineup, and we're gonna get started. I'm gonna invite the first speaker. The first speaker is from inside Headout Insider, and his name is Rachit Watts. He's VP of Engineering at Headout, and we totally excited to hear from him. Rachit. There we
Oh,
have Rachit.
yeah. Hi, Siddharth, for the intro. Hello, everyone. I hope I'm audible. Everyone can hear me. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you can. Siddharth, am I audible?
Well, I'll just check one second.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. Yeah, I got the confirmation. All right. So I'll just quickly share my screen. All right. I hope everyone can see my screen.
Yep, all good.
Okay. All right. Cool. I'll be introducing you all to Headout. Headout is the one organizing this hackathon, Hackout that you're all being part of. And I'll quickly tell you what Headout does, what have we achieved so far, uh, give you a little inside idea about what people do at Headout, what are, yeah, so what all do we do every day? Okay, so first of all, what is Headout? Cool. So yeah, Headout is in defining the way people travel in the world. People explore the world and they go to new cities and when what all what all you can do in a city. So you, whichever city you go to, you first need to discover what is around you. So you go to Headout, you see all the things that you want to explore in the city. That could be an attraction that you're going to. It could be a live show in Broadway if you're going to New York. These things you can discover on Headout and figure out what is around you on demand. You can book these on incredible prices, and these can be booked directly via Headout app in a seamless booking experience. We are present in around 30 cities right now around the globe. You can see in the slide. We have pretty much the Europe covered, and we are present in US, Asia, Japan, uh, Australia, Southeast Asia, etc. Okay, so what have we done so far? What have we achieved so far? In total, we have served around 10 million guests till date. These are the people coming from all over the world. These are the people coming from different ethnicities, different nationalities, and with these people have given us, we have generated in total 266 million of the business so far. This is the kind of business that Headout has done so far. Since these people are coming from different places in the world, we have to serve them in the language, in the way that they're most comfortable. So we are present. Headout is present in 11 languages, and you can browse all the products in these languages and have the whole experience in your personal languages. Despite now, this is the total number of things that we have, total number of people that we have served so far. With this, right now we are launching 50 new experiences every week. These are the places that you can go to. These are the locations that you can go to every week. And this number keeps on building and keeps on increasing with time. This is the current number that we are doing right now. Despite the lockdowns happening all over the world, we are launching 50 experiences right now every day, every week. Yeah. So okay, so all of you know how the okay, all of you know how the coronavirus COVID-19 has impacted the travel world. We were also we it was also a big setback for us as well. This is a chart to show you how we have fought through it, how we have recovered in the COVID time. So, if you can see, as you can see in the graph, since July we have been seeing 2x growth month on month in the GMV numbers, and that is how we are. When we are fighting the COVID in this manner, and we are leading the charge on the recovery front. We have created multiple tools to help people explore the world safely and securely. We have created an attraction tracker that people can visit, that we can visit to know what all things are open around the world at any time, and what are the safety measures being taken by any attraction, any experience that you are going to go for. Yeah, so we are leading the recovery. We are leading the charge on the recovery front in this new world. Okay, so in a gist, we serve global audience. We, through multiple iterations, through with all these experience, we have already cracked unit economics. Every unit we sell on Headout, we make money on that. We are a lean startup. Despite achieving all this, we are still a lean startup. We are in total a team of 150 people, and in engineering we have around 25 people. And in this world where people want to go out and people are concerned about their safety, we are leading the recovery in the post-COVID world. Okay, this is the plan that we have for the next year. We are planning to expand to 100 cities by next year, and as you can see, this chart is bound to go more red in the coming years. All right. Now, what about the offices? We have our main office, head office in Bangalore, and we have other offices in New York, Berlin, London, Hong Kong. But since we all know in this new normal, the remote is the new thing, right? Remote is the thing that everybody is going towards and everybody is adopting. We have taken remote by heart, and we are going remote as an ethos, and you are free to work from anywhere you want. So your home gets added in the list of offices. You can work from your office. You can work from anywhere you want to, right? Cool. Now I'll give you a little idea about engineering culture at Headout. What all we do in the engineering. What does our stack look like? What does our different components that we work on look like? Okay. Before we get into that, I want to tell one thing which is very unique to Headout. At Headout, we don't believe in restricting people to a specific technology. We don't believe in restricting our learning by forcing specific technology or framework on people. We are a bunch of polyglot developers who keep on experimenting with new things, and that shows in the work that we do. Every experience that every service that we make, every tool that we write, we take the call based on the usage, and we decide the language and framework, whatever, like whichever language and framework fits best for the use case, we go with that. And that's why you would see in the coming slides a lot of technologies, a lot of new technologies, and a variety of technologies being used across all services. Let's first talk about backend. What all do we do in backend? How does it look like? In terms of languages and frameworks, we our majority of our backend is written in Java, which is slowly being moved to Kotlin and Python. And we're using Spring, Django, and the latest Cutthroat Vertex framework for the new services. All the all these services, all the applications that are in Headout are built using microservice architecture. Despite being a team of 5 backend engineers, we have around 20 to 25 microservices right now live in the system who talk to each other via various methods. These could be synchronous methods, API calls, these could be asynchronous messaging, and it's a good web that gets orchestrated because of these services. Yeah. So now, and yeah, we also have, since we believe in the idea that everybody should travel, everybody should explore the world, we have not restricted anything inside Headout. When we have exposed our APIs publicly. Anybody who wants to build a travel company, they can use our APIs and get all the inventory that we have for any product around the globe. While doing this, we also do a lot of third-party integration. And these integrations are built in a way that they are abstracted from the main application, and they don't affect the main application in any way. And they live in their own pluggable abstracted module. All the services that we have built so far, as I talked about, 25 services that we have, all are Dockerized and are deployed on Kubernetes. Wait, something happened. Sorry. Am I audible? I think something happened.
Yep, you're audible, Rajat. Maybe you got a screen share once again.
Yeah. My display got disconnected somehow. Just give me a sec. Just a second. Not sure what is wrong here. Can you see me again? Can you see my screen again? Okay, all right. I think there is a problem here. Just give me a
Try
sec.
unsharing and resharing, Rajat.
I did that. I'll just do it again. Just a sec. I am not sure what is happening. I am sharing this. It's showing that I'm sharing the screen. Is it not visible to anybody? Damn. Hold on a sec. I don't know what is wrong here.
Meanwhile, folks, while we are resolving the technical glitches, I have a small request to make of you. 70 people watching and only 27 likes. Let's hit that like button. Hit that like button. Yes. We are trying to resolve the screen share issue. Rachit will most likely rejoin and then share again. Meanwhile, hit that like button so other folks know that we are doing this and can join in. And if you're not subscribed, this is a new channel. Make sure you're subscribed to support us. That.
Sorry. Is it visible now? Yeah. Okay. Rejoining.
All right. Yep, there. Now you can see me. Now you see me. So I was saying that hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Still, we are not even at like, okay, we're nearing kind of 50%, but let's take it to like 90% people here can like it. And what's an online event without few technical glitches? Exactly, I can't. Like, few technical glitches must happen. I mean, they happen in live events as well. So here we are trying to resolve some technical glitch, most likely some permissions issue. Meanwhile, I also want to understand, there was some Kotlin versus Python happening. All right, before we get into that debate, you can continue that debate in chat. I think we have Rachit back.
Yeah. Hi. Uh,
The video is off.
yeah, I'm trying. I'm turning it on. I hope you can see me now and the screen as well. Okay, amazing. Thanks, Siddharth, for pitching in. Something went wrong with the stream somehow. Cool. Since you can see me, yeah, I was talking about the backend and infra that we have, and yeah. So as I was saying, all the services that we have built so far, all the microservices that are created are Dockerized and are in Kubernetes and are built using Kubernetes clusters, right? And since there are so many services, and all these services have different kind of use cases for the tasks that they're going to do, and there we have constant, like we have recurring tasks like crons and everything. We have built an open source library called Ergo to held to hold to handle these tasks in a fault tolerant manner. And you will see more about that library in one of the presentations, but this is something that we have done recently and we have open sourced it. Yeah, all the services that are built are powered by automations, are tested by automations. All the automations are written in Python and Java again, and it ensures that stability and ensures that nothing goes south when things go live. Apart from all the dedicated services that we have created, there is a good touch of serverless that we have adopted wherever there is a need. Again, goes with the philosophy that whatever needs to be built should be built in the right manner. And it should not be restricted to the technologies that you're comfortable with. You have to go out of your comfort zone. So we are using AWS Lambda, we are using Google Cloud Functions, and recently we have started using AWS Fargate, which is a new technology, cutting edge technology, where the Docker images are spawned on the fly based on the need. Yeah, cool. Again, there's some issue. I can't touch the slide. Damn, I don't know why this is happening. Is my slide visible? I can't move it, but is it visible? Okay, damn. Discord is visible. Fine. Is this happening, man? Dude, there is guys, we'll need to take a break for 2 minutes. I can't control the slide. There's some problem happening. Just give me 2 minutes. I'll just solve it.
About your favorite programming languages. I mean, let's just talk about our favorites. That's the only question. Which one is your favorite? And yeah, which one do you go to where you feel fluent? Like, you could, we could just wake you up in the middle of the night and you could still speak it. For me, it's design. It's different, but I want to know from you folks, what is your preferred language? Basics. All right, so Subodh. All right. Just one person likes a language, then we have Python in between. Vikram is talking about Ergo is lit 2. Is that, I don't know what Ergo is. Okay, maybe it's a language, if it's a framework. I'll find out. Java. All right, Raghav. Java, JavaScript, JavaScript, everything. Akash Goel, I know you love JavaScript. JavaScript any day. Tariq also. Here we have Team JS happening. All right, Kotlin, Python, Dart, Kotlin. Where's the library? Oh, okay. Sangik, Brain F is a language I heard long back about. That was very fancy. Neil Agarwal, TypeScript. Does it count as a language? Really? I'm not too sure. Java, Kotlin. All right. Oh, yeah, right. Rachel just mentioned ago. All right. Go Team JS. Yes, Swift. Swift. Neil is on Swift for sure. I've heard great things about Swift. Kotlin, Solidity. I've never heard about Solidity. All right, Shabin. Interesting. We have Dart, C++. All right, hardcore people are also here. Hardcore folks are also here. JS and only JS for Tariq. JS is everything. JS in the morning, JS in the night. JS all the way. Vertex. All right. Sorry, peeps. I'm back again. Rachit is coming back. Rachit is commenting in YouTube. All right, Rachit, you're back again. Here you go.
Can somebody else share the screen, please? I think there's some problem with the share, and I'll give a cue to change the slide. Is it? Damn. The moment I move to the screen, it stops responding. Sorry.
Usually, what happens is that area you select, no, that blocks the thing. So you have to double tap it.
I did double tap. Okay.
Try keyboard shortcut.
Okay, you're live. All right. So sorry, folks. There was some problem with the sharing, screen sharing, but I hope everybody can see now. Yeah. So the last thing we talked about was the serverless pieces that we have in the system. We have been using AWS Lambda since very long time. We recently started dabbling with AWS Fargate, which is a new technology and works on Docker containers. Like Docker containers are deployed on the fly as and when needed in a serverless fashion. Yeah, so that's pretty much it about infra. I'll jump to the web, the kind of the how is web created, how are Headout websites and other tools created. Okay, so we have been the first, one of the first e-commerce companies to adopt SPA when it was launched. It was a big feat for us, and it gave us an edge in the industry. We also, all the pages that you see on Headout are server-side rendered, which is good for SEO, and which increases the ranking of the products. We use React and React Redux and TypeScript for the development. For the framework, we use Next.js, which is again a cutting edge technology, and we are one of the early adopters of Next.js. And all the whole Headout website that you see is built using Next.js, right? And also for there are other services in that come under web. There are internal tools. There are tools that are exposed to third party partners, and those are built using Svelte and other technologies and native JS as well. And for the server side code, we use Node.js. We have been, as I told, we have been early adopters of Next.js, and the same was true when PWA was launched and when Google launched AMP, right? All the pages that you see on Headout are all the dynamic pages that you see on Headout are edge cache. They are served from cache directly. There is no client side work happening. The first render happens directly from the cache. And since we take design very seriously, that is quite apparent from the websites that you see, the products that we create. Same is true for Hackout website. We have gone a step further, and we have created a design language system of our own and created a library that can standardize our design across all services. This is called AIR. This is again another service that is going to go open source soon, and it is like any other design system you see, but it is built completely from scratch in Headout. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about apps a little. We have our presence both on Android and iOS. We have been featured multiple times by App Store and Play Store for being the early adopters of new features, for being the most beautiful app that is out there. And the apps are built using apps are a hybrid between native and React Native. Uh, we use React Native for all the experimental things, and we use native for the primary flows, and it's a good mix between these two. The apps are built using Swift and Kotlin for the native piece, and React for the React for the React Native for the React Native side, and these are built on the MVVM framework. The applications follow reactive paradigm, and we use Dagger for dependency injection. We use latest Android Jetpack for repository pattern for the development, and to smoothen up the delivery, to smoothen up the releases, we have in fact implemented CI/CD as well with Fastlane. This gives us an edge and it gives us flexibility to quickly iterate and quickly release new versions of the app without a lot of manual intervention. And while being so much experimentative and while playing with so much latest technology, we are still the one of the highest rated apps on both the stores, Apple App Store and Play Store. Cool. So these are the things that are built already. These are the things that we have in the system. What's next? What are the things that we are going to focus in next 1 year? What are the big projects in the pipeline? Headout till now is a product which is for the consumers, where they can book the experiences. They can go to they can book an experience at right price in a quick fashion. We are also building an ecosystem for the vendors, for the suppliers which these suppliers could be the attractions. These suppliers could be people who are managing a small travel. They're managing a bunch, a list of attractions in their portfolio, and we're creating an ecosystem for them where they can manage their inventory, they can list their products, they can expose that inventory to other people, and this will become kind of like a system where everything about their attraction, everything about their experience will be listed, and anybody else in the market will be relying on this to get the information. Next step that is there, which is pretty technical and pretty cutting edge, is the apps and web hybridization. We have the major that are on apps and web are similar. So we are playing with React Native Web, which is again a new technology, which is kind of in a beta, and we are figuring out a way to build the UI once, and that gets deployed on both the apps and on the website. Next up, after that, is the advertisement bidding, AI-driven advertisement bidding. So we rely on Google Ads to serve the right query, to serve right query to the customers, and these ads are
Rajat,
you have to
one second, Rajat. There seems to be a voice issue. Just wanted to confirm
okay
with the audience.
yeah okay
People are saying there's some cracking sound that are happening. 1 second, we'll just.
okay
I'm just checking what could be the issue.
okay. Should I
just wait for 1 second?
Okay.
Folks, when Rachit is not speaking, folks in the chat, when Rachit is not speaking, can you still hear the cracking sound?
Even once it's audio, saying. Saying now it's not happening. Should I try again?
You can go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Folks, I think okay. I guess now it's not happening. If it happens again, please ping in the chat. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I was talking about the AI-driven advertisement bidding that we're working on. We're going to work on that is the predicting the kind of bid that you want to place for any ad space, the kind of copy that needs to be there for the ad, and it's a pretty complicated project because you are predicting against all your competitors what your competitors are going to do.
Oh, so sorry, Rachit. I think it's still happening. People are like, still happening, still happening.
Okay, should we
It happens whenever you
restart
speak.
the stream?
Just checking what could be the issue.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, they're saying
Yeah.
still happening.
Neil, are you trying something?
All right, Rachit. I'm gonna just do a test and then we can check. All right, sound check, people, sound check. Can you hear me? Can you hear me clearly? We're trying to see if that resolves the issue. If not, we'll try something else. If my voice is cracking, just let me know. Just write cracking or C in the or F in the chat. And otherwise, it's fine. All right, it's fine. All right, Rachit, you go for it.
Okay, all right. Just yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. So I hope this is fine now, and yeah, please raise in the chat if you see. This is again, this we're doing this for the first time, and there could be some errors, and uh, like we expect support from you if anything goes wrong. Just raise it in the chat. Now, so coming back to the projects that are coming up next, uh, I told about the AI-driven advertisement bidding. Then the one after that is the widgetization. So we have various services. We have various UI systems, UI uh, modules that are we are planning to widgetize. So these widgets can be your booking module. These widgets can be all the experiences that you in a city that you see in a city, and anybody can integrate these on their website and land at users and serve these widgets and serve these experiences directly to the user without even building the UI. So earlier this was possible by doing an API, but now you can directly plug in those widgets and serve those customers right away from within your application. Okay, the last one is Dex. This is a new thing which is going to again redefine the travel experience. So the first idea is that we will create digital experiences. These are the experiences that you can have while being at home. You can visit different places all around the world. You can experience different kind of things without actually being there. The next step, which is quite exciting, is the augmented experiences. So you're going to visit the Louvre Museum in Paris, and what if you could see what is in front of you wherever you are standing based on your location? What if you could hear what it is about? Like it's kind of an audio guide, but it is automated. It detects your location indoors and it tells you what you are seeing. So that is the kind of augmentation that we're talking about, and we are going to work on that in the coming months. Yeah, cool. So what about the team? What are the people who have made this magic happen? And yeah, what are the people that you're going to work with if you come join Headout? Yeah, so we are a team of passionate builders who are always hungry for learning, always trying their hands on new things, and and building stuff all the time. These are the people. These people come with variety of experience. Some people have been co-founders, have been part of early startups, and come with a huge experience. So the mentors that you will get, the people that you will get are the folks who can guide you through any problem that you face in your work, right? And these people, like everybody in the team, is a freak for optimization. We don't stop until we reach the last leg of optimization that can be done, right? And while doing all this, these people know how to have fun. I think you will get a good glimpse of it when we move to the forward slides, when we'll be talking about cool things that are there. But yeah, the team which is building all these things, a small team of 25 members, and yeah, these are the people who have made this all happen. Now, cool. What does Headout believe in? Headout. So Headout believes in, like, these are the things that Headout believes in. If you can see on the screen, we believe in team is greater than you. We believe in data, and you and at the core of it, you are all need to be a hacker to do good in your career, to learn. So this is what we are going to do in this hacker as well. And this print that you see, this is a real wall in our office where all these things are etched, and we see these every day whenever we enter the office, right? Okay, so what does the engineering culture look like? Okay, these are the ethos that we believe in. We are language and framework agnostic. As I explained in the tech stack, we pick whichever language or whichever framework works best for the service. And this gives you an exponential learning curve because you're not restricting to one technology at any time, and you're learning new things on every project that you're working on. This makes us very experimental while making us extremely fast because we can iterate faster, we can quickly switch between technologies, we can be truly polyglot. And since this is all done by a small set of people, and you are getting the whole responsibility to build anything that you're working on, you complete ownership, and you get complete ownership, and you execute it from the planning till the delivery all by yourself. Yeah. And yeah, okay, so then this is done. This is done. The experimentation and the new features that we build are done with keeping optimization and automation in head. So we stay away from manual work as much as possible, and we automate even the smallest of tasks. That could be even generating a small input file that you are going to use in your test. Even those files we generate via tests, via automation, right? And you get flexible timings. We believe in flexible timings. Everybody is free to choose their own time when they want to work, and yeah, they can pick, and they can pick the duration that they'll be working on. They just need to inform the team, and they can work whatever time suits them. You get to work with the best because everybody in the team is comes with a great experience, and comes with a with an attitude that they want to be best in the industry. So you get to work with them and learn from them. What are the growth and learning opportunities that you get? So we have adopted a lot of processes, a lot of things that we do to increase the learning opportunities. We have one of the famous things is Wasted Tech Fridays that we do. This is an opportunity to discuss about things that you have worked on. Every Friday, the whole technology team meets and discusses all the new things that they've explored in the industry, in the technical landscape, and everybody in the team discusses. Uh, we also have product showcase. This in the product showcase, you tell the whole company what you have built so far. This is the time to boast what you have done and show the whole company the project that you worked on. This happens monthly, and you uh, you yeah you basically you get in the technical and the business details of the thing that you've done. So this doesn't only give you the technical knowledge, it also gives you the business knowledge about the things that you're building. uh, there are other things as well, like Headout University, in which this is not restricted to technical knowledge, but every week somebody from the team talks about something that they're good at. This could be music. So this could be animation. Yeah. So you get to learn those things in a setup where these are people from your own team who are teaching you things that they are dabbling with. Right. We also have our blogs. We have online courses. You get on access to online courses. You can choose any course that you want. You get to attend the conferences and meetups. Also, you get gadgets that you need to work on and all the things that you want to try out. While doing this, we also have hackathons. We do internal hackathons and external hackathons like Hackout. We have been doing this since last 3 years, and this is the remote one. All these things ensure that you're constantly learning, constantly growing, and becoming the best in the industry. Yeah. Okay. So what about the cultural activities that we do in the company? These are the things that you enjoy. These are the things that you that help you build the soft side of yours. And we go on a trip every year. We do a head outing. We call it head outing because we are like head outing. And this year we were lucky to have the head outing right before the COVID struck. We went for a head outing in January. We Apart from this, in this time we also do virtual tours. These are like virtual experiences, but people from the team all over the world, they go to the city and showcase to everybody in the company. Everybody in the company joins on the call, and we go to places like Berlin, Hong Kong, and Spain, wherever, Barcelona, and you visit all these places. We also have weekly socials in which the team gets together, the whole company gets together and chats about the things that you are doing. We celebrate birthdays, we celebrate work anniversaries, and have a normal chit chat. We do daily activities on Slack. In the remote world, these simulate the conversations that you have in the that you know they simulate the water cooler conversations that you have in the office. These are kind of activities that you have been seeing on Discord lately. uh, yeah, these happen every day in Headout. We also have after gaming after hours, in which we play some online game, like we are going to play tonight. We have a tournament for Type Racer. We play some games every week, every Friday. The whole team gets together. We play Among Us. We play Type Racer or Conquer, whichever the team wants to. Yeah. Cool. So this is all the serious stuff. What's more? What else is there in Headout when you join Headout? What else do you get? You, first of all, as I mentioned earlier, you get to work from anywhere. You don't need to be restricted by a location. You can pick the location you like. You can work from your home. You can go on a vacation for 1 month and work from a remote beach or a hilltop. Only thing is that you should get an internet. You can work from anywhere, virtually anywhere. This photo that you see is from one of our colleague who is in Hong Kong, and this is his work desk in his balcony. So yeah, you can choose. You have we have adopted the work from anywhere policy, and you don't need to be restricted by location. This also opens up the possibility of hiring people from across the world. We can have one person working from India and other person working from Israel, building the same thing together, working on the same project. Yeah. So this is something that is a recent thing, and we have adopted it by the heart. We follow a flat org structure. We don't have positions. We don't have layers in the company, and everybody is completely owning the thing that they're working on, and they are free to take all the decisions that they're taking for that they're taking for the product that they're building, and they can completely own it and reiterate on it once the thing is executed. Yeah. Cool. It's a rewarding culture because you, first of all, you get all the things that you want in a company. You get to work on the things that you love. You get to work on the technologies that you love, and also you work with the team that is always mentoring you, always working with you to reach to make you a better person. We make you a better developer. Yeah, you also get to work with the global team. As I mentioned, we have offices all over the world. Uh, we have people uh, working with us from different parts of the world. Uh, we currently we have 6 offices all over the globe, and around and people from 15 different nationalities working towards the same mission, and you'll be working with them to learn to grow on the team. Okay, that's all, folks. This is what Headout is about. If you have any questions, you can ask in the speaker AMA, or you can ask in the chat right now. I'm just heading to the chat and see if there's anything I've missed because I've been on the other screen. Okay, so I see a question: how do you hire, by Abhishek Amrute. Okay, so you can, this is hackathon is the hackout is the one of the way that we hire. Do well in the hackathon, uh, we'll ask you for the interview, and if you pass it, we will give you a chance. We'll give you an option to work at Headout with us, right? Apart from this, you can apply it to Headout directly. You can go to our careers page. You can reach out to any of us the mentors, and any of the mentors that you see, and you can I mean, we'll be happy to have you in the family. Yeah, cool. Anything? Internet and chai compulsory to have. Chai is optional. Internet you have to, because it's an internet company. Uh, you need to talk to people to build things. Yeah, I think I've gotten everything. If there's anything else, head to the AMA at 5 p.m. I'll see you guys there. Yeah,
Thank you so much,
thanks a lot.
Rachit. Thank you so much for that exciting presentation. Folks, let's have Rachit OP in chat. Rachit OP in chat right now. Let's do it. Let's do it. And all the photos that you saw towards the end were actual legit Headout photos. That scene that you saw is, like Rachit mentioned, Joy's workspace in Hong Kong. And we also get virtual tours, and of course, like engineering culture at Headout. Like I can vouch for either, even though I'm not an engineer, it's really strong, and we feel jealous, those of us who are not engineers. Rachit OP is happening in chat. Rachit OP is happening in chat. Thank you, Rachit, so much for that wonderful presentation. And now since we're running behind the schedule a little bit, I'm gonna move right next to our next speaker. Our next speaker is an iOS engineer from New Delhi, India, and he has a knack for pixel perfect UI, something I always love, and I'm sure so do you, and believes that great apps look good and work even better. He's currently working with PhonePe and disrupting digital payments across India. I'm sure you have used PhonePe at some point in your life, having previously worked at Zomato, another thing we have all used. And please help me welcome Bhagat Singh to the live stream. Hey Bhagat, good to see you. Sid's voice quite OP. Oh, is my voice down?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, can hear. Can
Okay.
hear you.
Okay, so I'll
Welcome,
just
welcome. Yeah, you can just
uh,
share your screen.
yeah, all good.
Yep, all looks good.
Cool then. So, hello everybody. I hope you're having a good day and hope you're staying positive and testing negative out there. So, so the title for my talk today is 35,000 hours, and this is the total amount of time that you spend in your engineering life. I know it sounds a lot, but if you look at it the other way, like 4 years, they'll pass on. But yeah, so 35,000 hours is the total amount you spend in your engineering life. And that is the only time you have to make an impact that will judge the rest of your life. So, a little bit about myself. My name is Bhagat. I am an iOS engineer at PhonePe. PhonePe is India's payments app and it is disrupting cashless payments across the country. I also contribute in ravendlick.com. It is the world's leading authority on mobile development and game development tutorials. So yeah, so most of the people think that your journey from bottom to the top can be like this, right? One straight line, no curves, no bends, but it actually isn't. It is a combination of, crashes, burns. You like you're very down at one point and you soar to heights at one point. So yeah, it is a combination of all of that, and so was mine. Yeah. So I've marked these checkpoints on 4 years of the college life you're in. And when you enter this college life as a freshman, uh, I'm not sure about others, but most of the people have no skills, no confidence, and they don't know what to do because all of our lives we've been trained to, get into IITs, get into NITs. That doesn't give us time, to build our other skills and stuff like that, right? So these three things are the most common things that people do in their college life to start getting a hang of things that okay, so now we are in an engineering college and we need to do stuff. So the first one is exploring competitive programming, and uh, I'm sure all of you listeners out there might have heard that competitive programming is like the go-to thing. You've had to do it, and it gets you packages like Google, Amazon, Facebook, and all of that stuff, right? uh, but for me, competitive programming was not an option. Like I tried doing it, I'll be honest, but the reason for me was that it had a very steep learning curve, and you'd had to wait for a long time to get some results, and so it was a little too long for me. You wait for academics to teach you something useful. Well, yeah, if they stop changing the syllabus every 2 years, they'll teach you something useful. Um, I'm not sure about like colleges across the world and stuff like that, but I'm sure people somewhere do study and do get the theoretical and engineering knowledge they want. Like not in a this was not meant in a bad way. College societies are a great place to explore your what is new in the world, because your seniors having more exposure, 1 or 2 years more exposure than you have already, have had internships and stuff like that, so they're a great way. But college societies in my college were actually really good, but they were not moving at the pace that I wanted them to be. They were around like a session per 2 weeks or stuff like that, but I wanted to move faster, right? uh, this is the overall uh, statistical thing of my engineering life. It is like a less than 10% attendance and almost like not even 70% marks. This is not in any way recommending you to bunk your classes or do stuff like similar to bunking your classes or not going college, not attending classes. But this is something of an inspirational thing where you can do whatever you want without having the adequate marks or attendance behind it, right? So this boy only has his laptop and he's entered into college. He's like thinking stuff. He can, go for the Android side of things. He can go to the iOS side of things. He can go to Unity side of things. He can go to DevOps, Flutter, and he can go to whatnot. He can go Django, Unity, C Sharp, whatever he wants to do. But as sincere this child is, this leads him to this, right? He's mind blown with all the technologies out there and he is confused like what to do. So I'm sure pretty much all of the students spend their first year in like getting adjusted to the college environment, which is a major upgrade from their school environment. Like making friends, hanging out, getting used to the academics, 12 subjects in one semester and whatnot. So the first year passes on pretty fast. And that is like when you'd want to start thinking about what you want to do next, right? So there are a couple of questions to ask yourself on like how you would want to proceed in your career ahead. So the first and foremost question you'd want to ask yourself would be, what are you good at and what do you love, right? So someone might be good at design, someone might be good at engineering. So the one common notion that all of you have is, if we have gotten into engineering, we all we have to do is to code, right? But I've seen great engineers turn out as designers. I've seen great engineers turn out as entrepreneurs. I've seen engineers turn out as even marketing specialists, right? So that does not mean that if you enter an engineering college, you have to do like what you're forced to do. So we've heard this statement quite a lot, right? Follow your passion, do what your heart says, and stuff like that. But uh, occasionally, this leads to a passion puzzle, right? So, following passion sometimes is not the best way to, reach to your goals and stuff like that. For example, if someone's goal is to make money and his passion is something like, I don't know, of course, you can like make money by following your passion and stuff, but people occasionally get stuck in the passion puzzle, like which hinders you from leaving your current comfortable environment and jumping into something like uh, maybe a very difficult situation where you won't have a regular income source and stuff like that. So the second question would be, are you promotion or prevention focused? Promotion focused people are quick and they seize new opportunities instantly. For example, if I I'm working at PhonePe and tomorrow a promotion thinker would, if he would get an opportunity from someone like Headout, right? And they'll offer him like twice the amount of money, twice in a senior designation, stuff like that. So a promotion focused person would instantly jump ships and not think about how much the previous company had invested in him, on his growth, on his accommodations and relocations and stuff like that. And the prevention focused people are actually opposite. They try to gain as much as juice as they can at a single place before moving out of that. What is the best environment for your personality? Can you survive in a high paced startup or do you need the comforts of the big wig? This actually depends on person to person. So you might want to get this factor into place while applying for jobs. uh, I know most of you apply for jobs in big wigs like Microsoft and Google and stuff like that, and in startups like Zomato or Headout or PhonePe. So if you have like if you have the adrenaline rush to survive in a high paced startup, do that. Otherwise, like go for the comfort. It depends on you. So what kind of lifestyle do you want? Do you want like a high income source, steady income source, which of course a big wig can provide because they're stable 20, 30 years running a company, and a startup which will see good and bad days at the same time. And most startups are uh, providing like ESOP options and stuff like that because they want people who stick with them from the beginning to the end reap the benefits of that. So it is like again a personality question and what kind of lifestyle an individual would prefer. Also, are you prepared for obsolescence? So whatever you learn will actually become obsolete one day. So are you prepared for it? Does your current job have the time benefits, that you can learn something on the side. uh, what happens if you what happens if whatever you're learning becomes obsolete, and then you are like, I have to, switch, but I don't know anything else. So yeah, does your current situation involve time aside, setting time aside for, uh, you know, learning something extra, whether it will help you or not? Are you working in a niche? So working in niche offers a really good job security and of course money, because if I had to hire someone like an, for example, an Android developer, and if there are 500 of them in a room and only one iOS guy there, so the iOS guy can get money on his demand, right? So try to find out a niche, try to find out uh, a small niche that, you know uh, you can exploit that for a good job security and money, because finding people in a niche and replacing them is very difficult. So you all, I assume most of you are college students, and you might not have an idea of what actually people do in various companies. Like, everybody's getting the title of a software development engineer or a member of technical staff, but what do people actually do, right? So mobile devs are uh, people that build apps for companies. And why should you be a mobile dev? If you have an eye for design, if you have the attention to detail required alongside a technical prowess, I'd suggest that you can try out this field. Next one is data scientist. So what do data scientists do? Data scientists help businesses solve problems through processing of data. They draw out analytics and they draw out numbers, which help the C-level people or the product manager take business decisions for their company in a better way. If you love looking at data and trying to see patterns, if you love numbers, this is for you. Front-end engineers use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to build UIs for websites. I'm sure there are a lot of other things as well for in which you can use to build websites. Uh, and if you are the kind of person that likes learning and using new languages, and the same thing as mobile, like you have an eye for design and a technical prowess, this can be for you. But if you particularly love the web environment, this can be for you. DevOps engineers bridge the gap between development and operations. So basically, these are the people that keep up your servers up at night. Uh, if there's some crashes happening, if there's some people out, stuff like that. So if you want to learn about, releasing a code to production environments, uh, handling servers and all the complexities associated with it, uh, you can go in the DevOps field. And backend engineers are people who work on server components of a multi-tier application. Someone like sending the API response and working on caching stuff, maintaining databases. So these jobs are what a backend engineer do. Want to gobble databases, languages, data. So this is an all out job for someone who loves it. So when you've decided and when you've reached a conclusion, so trying out one or two fields, like I've tried design, I've tried development, I've tried DevOps. Now, if you've actually struck out, like, this is a thing for me, I can do this for the rest of my life. So now when you know what you want to be, you need a playground to experiment and practice, right? And that's where hackathons come in. So hackathons are like a drug, right? Which give you an infinite concentration, which give you an explosion of creativity, and you do stuff that you thought you were impossible, you were not capable of doing. Something like waking up for 48 hours straight. And they can even land you an internship at Zomato, PhonePe, Google, Headout. Most of it, it's free, right? And that is a hackathon, right? It is very addictive. So much so that I have attended almost 40 hackathons a year in my pre-final year. Uh, Even when I had my exams, I was at a hackathon a night before. So they're very addictive. They give you permissionless innovation, right? Where you can ideate You can build, you can present, and you can get judged, right? You ideate on something like a software where you can provide navigation for blind people. You have a weekend to build it, right? You set aside a concentrated time to build it, and you even have a chance to make it a full-fledged product. I've seen people getting out of hackathons with a product, and companies like Apple investing money in them or even buying them out to get that product. So hackathons basically involve software, hardware, and art, uh, and the collaboration is love, of course. Uh, you've had people some doing like going into hackathons alone and finding new friends there, finding new people there, making teams, working on them, working with them on products for 48 hours, which is absolutely crazy. You'll see the best guys running around to help others. I've got help from people when I was starting out. I've helped people when I was like in my final year and stuff, and people who were starting out. So that is great. And a hackathon is basically a gym for your mind. And basically, you want to become an app developer, you want to just be a backend engineer, or hell, it's if you just want to get good at pitching, right? So you can go to a hackathon, which leads many people to a common misconception that I don't know anything, I'm not qualified, and I don't know how to code, right? So I'll be honest, neither did I when I went to my first hackathon and I just showed up. So just like you go into a hackathon and you come out a hacker, right? So you first paint a painting and then you become a painter, not the other way around. So you'll have to go into a hackathon to, like leave your fears behind, and you have to first go in and then you come out a hacker. So this is what kind of I did. I started out with Android and I didn't feel the kick for it. So I started iOS. So I had looked into iOS first, but it had something like Objective-C coding back then, and I didn't really like that syntax, so started doing Android because that was the thing when I was just starting out. So Apple announced Swift that year, and that changed my mind, and I fell in love instantly with Swift. So now when you're in your pre-grad year and you're almost running towards your final year, so companies look for things like quick thinking and optimized solutions, no specific comfort zone, and the ability to adapt. And that's what a hackathon offers, right? So that is actually what companies look for, and they'd invest in you. They'd like you to be a part of their team because they don't have to invest time in you to teach you all of that because you've already learned it from hackathons. They don't have to teach you anything because you're quick to adapt. If I give you a technology and give you 48 hours to work with it, like you'll be all down and all in with it, right? So they don't have to teach you anything. They're saving time on you, so they are they have a better bet on you rather than some other person. You're saving their most important entity, which is time. So uh, as this is the first talk, I'd say out, so I'd like to give a hackathon 101 to all the people watching, a list of do's and don'ts. So do's would be network. This is not the end of the world and not the end of a hackathon or just. So basically, the first thing and the foremost thing you have to do is network, because you have the collection of developers, designers, and hustlers. And these are the people that you want to be for the rest of your lives. You have the best set of minds around you in that Discord channel since we are not physically present. So network, network, and network. Uh, Experience the feeling of a hackathon. The best way to learn is experience, and experience building a portfolio. So get experience, build projects, make friends, stuff like that, right? Of course, there's free stuff. So you get a lot of swag, t-shirt, hoodies, fidget spinners, and whatnot, free food. Since we're not physically present, I'm sure you guys must be getting swags, but not free food. Uh, if you had no plans on your weekend, you wanted to be productive, So here's your chance. Uh, be productive, show the world what you can do, stuff. And hackathon don'ts. Sleep is important. So a lot of times you'll get caught up making progress, so you forget the progress of time. So don't fall in that trap because sleep is actually important, right? Not agreeing. Uh, Actually, great ideas don't always win. Great executions do, and this can be frustrating when you have an amazing idea and the other team wins it. So there's no point in disagreeing with people around because you know what you did. People have their opinions and they are absolutely to be respected for, but don't take them in a non-constructive way, right? Copying and plagiarism, please don't do it. Have some self-respect. Where do you find hackathons to attend? You can find them on the websites mentioned. I'm sure there must be a lot added, but yeah. Uh, and lastly, the blueprint should be, you should ideate strong, you should execute stronger, and you should present strongest. And while you're in between these stages, try to reinvent the wheel a little bit, not writing your own languages to code an application, but try to reinvent the wheel where you can. And while you're at it, try some tech for good because you know world's not in the best shape as it was before. So try to do it tech for good. Like yeah, I want to wish you all a very best of luck and thank you for listening to me. If you have any project ideas, you want to collaborate, you want to hit me up with some suggestions, you want to hit me up for some collaborations, you can find that Twitter handle there. And thank you so much. Have a great day ahead and best of luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Bhagat. That was amazing. I wish I got that intro to hackathons, and so many of my friends who are developers. If they got that guide, you literally condensed so much of learning within such short period of time. Thank you so much for sharing that. And one of the things that you mentioned about was collaboration and making friends. For me, that was the biggest takeaway. Whenever the
Yeah.
kind of friends and connections you make can really span for a lifetime. Do you have
Yeah.
any friends
Yeah.
that you made during hackathons that still are
Oh
on?
yeah, I've had a lot of friends. Like there were people in my college that I didn't know before, where who I met at a hackathon. We made a team, we made projects, we won that hackathon, and like friendships flourished from there. Yeah.
That is awesome. Thank you so much for
Yep.
taking time to speak with us, Bhagat. Really appreciate it. And once again, let's have Bhagat OP in chat. Bhagat OP is already happening in chat. Bhagat OP is
Oh,
already
is
happening.
it? Nice.
People loved it. Thank you once again, Bhagat.
Thank you.
Wonderful
My
project.
pleasure. Thank you.
All right, folks. Now we come to our. I hope you learned a lot, and every single sentence Bhagat spoke about is of critical importance. He nailed. I can't tell you how well he nailed. Just follow that to the grid, and there's a lot you will discover, learn, and find out. And I'm super excited to present to you the next speaker in the session. Right now, of course, as we start out talking about a hackathon, first we learn about technology. The next obvious thing is design. And speaking of design, we have our next speaker for you, who started in 2011 with freelancing projects and finding stuff on Odesk. And then he also was co-founder of an app called Listen. Later on, he he was a co-author on a Amazon bestseller book called Pajama Profit. I highly recommend the book to people here in everyone watching right here. And right now, before that, right, what he is doing right now, he was head of design at an academy, and right now he runs 10K Designers, a community of designers where he's mentoring, teaching the next generation of designers. Extremely excited to present to you the next speaker, a good friend of mine, Abhinav Chikara. Abhinav, welcome on board.
Thanks for that. Hey everyone, super happy to be here. I'm glad to see so many people are here. Um, yeah, do you want me to get started, Siddharth?
Go for it, Abhinav. Go for it.
Awesome. So today I'm going to be talking about. This is going to be a small crash course. This is going to be a small crash course for you, very relevant to the current thing, which is the hackathon. And what we're going to be talking about is this. Let me just confirm if everyone can see my screen.
Just check. Yep, I think. Yep. It's on.
Cool. Awesome. Give me 1 second.
Meanwhile, folks, hit that like button. Hit it. I see so many of you have not liked it yet. Make sure you like it.
Awesome. So we're going to be talking about 7 design hacks for non-designers. I know a lot of you might be interested in UI UX design. Most of you might be developers. In this video, what I want to do is I want to talk to you about some very important tips that you can directly apply without spending time to, actually learn design. And these tips will be useful for how you are presenting, which is your presentation at the end. But some of these tips will also be useful in some of these small things you can do to make your project stand out from all the other projects out there. So I think we can get started. Let me now jump into the first tip here. Okay. The number one tip that I have, and I'm going to start with this one because I think it's the most important. It's that you have to build context. Now, what exactly do I mean by this? Let's talk about the presentation first. Let's jump to the future. When you are presenting, you always want to build up the context before you present your solution. Because I see a lot of people, and by the way, I have participated in a ton of hackathons back in the day. This is one of the reasons why, I've lost a couple. I've seen other people with amazing solutions not be able to really bring out the magic that they really want to. But I want to say build context. Now, a simple example of this would be if you're presenting your project, which is this cool technology that you've done, and you spent, let's say, 48 hours on working on that, and now you really, really want to get other people excited about it. They're not going to get excited about it unless they have the context. What that means is you need to tell them a story, right? Most people get into an info dump rather than telling a story. So when you're presenting, try to get a read of the room. The judges that are there, the people who are watching, when you are eventually doing that, you have to build that context. Now, this tip can also be useful when you're designing your product, which is, since this is a hackathon, it's not going to be super, super polished, right? But as much as possible, every single screen that you have on your website, it should be very clear what it's doing. So try to focus a little bit on that. Anytime somebody is on a particular screen, of the product that you're designing, they should very clearly know what am I supposed to do here, and they should very clearly know what I should do next. Right. So that's my number one tip. I don't see any comments, folks. Let me know. Let me know if you're liking this. We're going to jump now into number 2. Number 2 would be, this is a tool that I'm giving you from the designer tool set that you might not already have. Maybe you're doing already, but it's to wireframe. Now, what is wireframing, right? What exactly is it? Like, one of the things that I notice with engineers is you want to directly jump to the solution. Now, of course, in college, you've learned about things like ER diagrams. You've heard about, all of these UML flows that you have to design, and nobody really does that. However, wireframing is one of those things that you can use to plan out what you're going to build before you build it. And doing that initial planning can save you a lot of time. So this will really, really help with the time component. So I'll show you a quick example of what it's like. Let's say you are designing a resume generator. The reason I'm bringing this topic is this is one of the projects that I had done at one of the hackathons that I can remember. Let's say you're making a resume generator. Now, a resume generator will have a bunch of things. It'll have this thing where people enter their input. You might have some sort of login. You might also make a landing page that says resume generator, these are the features, this is what you can do. You might then have a place where you enter your LinkedIn, your this thing, and then eventually it generates it, it can share it. This entire flow that you have, you can of course directly jump into code. Start with your front end, figure out your models, try to figure out your back end. Wireframing is the process where you plan this whole thing out beforehand. So for example, this is literally what wireframes will look like. In your notebook, you will figure out what are the main pages that I need to have on my site. So for example, here I have let's say this is the landing page. And I'm drawing very rough wireframes. You can actually go in proper detail, even write out the text that you want to do, the buttons you want to include. Then it reaches a point where it says, oops, it says enter your details. And then there's some subtext which says this will be used to generate your resume. And then you'll have, let's say, text fields for name, LinkedIn, something else, something else. And finally, you have your submit button here. Just the small act of planning before you get started. A lot of you might already be doing this. Maybe you don't know the term for it, which is wireframing. The simple act of planning out your entire thing such that you and your team can get this zoomed out view of, hey, this is what we are building, can be really useful. So try doing this. Try wireframing before you actually jump into the code, because this planning will save you a lot of time later down the line. My number 3 tip, I think I messed up the order. This was supposed to be my number 1 tip. But this tip is presentation matters. Think about this. You've spent 48 hours designing this solution that you know 100% about. You know every single line of code you've added. You know every single thing you've included. You have some idea of what was difficult to make. You have some idea of what was easy to make. Right? And this is the product that you've done. This is your final product. Now, when you are presenting this, it's very easy to be overtaken by the excitement, which is, let's say you have feature 1, feature 2, feature 3, feature 4. People don't really want to know those features. That's going to be one of my upcoming tips, by the way. Keep that in mind. People really don't want to know the features. They want to know, what are you trying to do here? I'll have something on presentation as well towards the end. If presentation is something you're interested in, you want to go deeper into that, stick around for that. But presentation matters. Think about it this way. Ideally, we want things to be a meritocracy, which is, we want things to be judged based on merit. We want the best things to win. We want the person who spent the most time doing the most craziest thing to get the best reward. But this hackathon, some hackathons, and life in general is usually not a meritocracy always. It's not a pure meritocracy. The merit of your solution will be linked to your presentation. If you have a good product and a bad presentation, versus if you have a medium or like an okay product with a good presentation, who do you think is going to win? Who do you think would win? It might be either. I don't know for sure. But what I have seen is the medium product with an amazing presentation will usually win. So when planning out your time, plan an ample amount of time for your actual presentation. And I don't mean slides. I don't just mean put everything on slides. I mean, think about, what does the other person know about this? Think about the problem statement. What was the most important? Right? You don't want to give an information dump. You want to prioritize. You want to tell the most interesting things rather than all the things. And then if they ask you, you can get more deeper into your solution. My number 4 is going to be a tip around Figma. I want to quickly know in the chat, how many of you have used Figma before? Just put a yes or no. Because what I'm about to show you I don't see any no's yet. If it's no, please say no, because I'm actually going to show you Figma. So, okay. Awesome. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you a 60-second crash course in Figma. Figma is a design tool. That's what most people use. If you've used Adobe XD before, you know how to use Figma already. Don't use Adobe XD, use Figma. It's like, imagine Google Docs, but for designing. It's collaborative, everybody can do it together. So I'm going to show you my I mean, I'm going to show you these 2 tips here. Figma 60-second crash course. I'm going to switch right now. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about colors and fonts. So let's switch over here to Figma. Awesome. So let me give you a quick 60-second, if somebody can time me on this. Okay, it doesn't matter. I'll time myself. Give you a 60-second presentation on how Figma works. When you download it, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see your projects here. If you don't have any projects, you might not see anything. Create a new file, hit this plus button here. You're going to reach a page. Give it a name. This is Hackout. Now, what you want to do is Figma will can help you plan a lot of stuff. Let's say you want to design a screen. I'm going to press F, or I'm going to hit this button here, which is frame. Whether you're designing an iPhone or an Android app, or you're designing for desktop, you'll find it here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select desktop. Let's say I was designing my landing page. You can here, even though you don't have the perfect design sense, plan out some parts of your landing page. So you can say, I'm going to put a header here. I'm going to put a logo here. I'm going to put some links here, like about, get started. Damn, I'm coming really close to 60 seconds. I'm getting nervous now. This technically is sort of like a wireframe as well. You can go much deeper into it if you actually want to do it. I'm going to put some headings here. Let me just pull this. So let's say, what was the project I was doing? Resume generator. Generate a beautiful resume in just 120 seconds. You can do this. You can do this. And what I would suggest is use a little bit of Figma, maybe to plan stuff. You don't necessarily have to do this. One place where it can get useful is if you have to make certain graphics, either for your presentation or you want to make a logo for your product that you've done just to make it better. All of that can be done in Figma. You don't really need to know. If you don't have Photoshop, you don't really need to do that. You can just do it here. And I'll give you a small tip. When you go to Figma, you'll see a tab called Community. And you'll be able to find a bunch of templates here, like design templates. And this can be useful to put things together really quick. Right. So that's my tip number. What was that? Those 5? 4. Let me now talk a little bit about colors, fonts, typography. Can you do something there to make your design much better? So for fonts, what I will tell you is, of course, don't go super crazy. Don't go to don't go to dafont.com, find the Iron Maiden font and use that for heading. We all know this, right? It's not about fancy fonts. But I would say one small hack that I can give you to really make your design sort of stand out is choose about 2 nice fonts that you can use. When you are in Figma, when you press T or this T over here, you'll be able to see a bunch of, let me click this. You'll be able to see a bunch of Google fonts over here, right? What you can also do is, if you want to find good fonts for your project, you can go to, let me quickly show you. This is probably the only place you need to know when it comes to fonts. If you're not a designer, if you're not doing crazy stuff, this is more than enough. Use this to find something that's nice. The reason I'm stressing about fonts, you might wonder, right? I know most of you are going to use Roboto. I know most of you are going to use Roboto. Think about that. Out of all the teams here, maybe 80% of the teams will use Roboto. Whenever you're designing a screen, think about the amount of stuff that is type, that is fonts. Something like 90% of your screen will be fonts. Just choosing nice fonts can add this subtle flavor that can make your design look better. So my suggestion is use this. What you can do is you can enter something here and try it out, see and find something that looks good. And then Figma has all the Google fonts preloaded into it already. So what you'd be able to do is do that. So what I would suggest is pick a heading font, pick something that's slightly more stylized for the heading. And for all your paragraphs, all the smaller text, pick something that's kind of standard. So here I have Lato. Here I have WorkSons. All right. So that's fonts. I'll also talk a little bit about this, although this is too much to get into right now. But when you are picking the styles for your font, try to set some standard typography scale. The main reason is that you have hierarchy. So for example, when you see this paragraph, what's the first thing that you see? Your eye goes in this area because this is the biggest thing here. And then it goes to this, which is smaller. You're setting some sort of hierarchy that gets people to look at it and then continue reading. So try to set some basic type scale. If you guys want, quickly take a screenshot of this, but this is just one example. And I'll talk about one more thing, which is icons. This is another small hack you can use to make your designs really stand out. I know most of you are going to use Google icons. You're going to use the material design icons that Google has, which is standard, that all Android apps use. You might even use this on web. A small thing that you can do to make this stand out is use an icon set. Now, this icon set is called Feather Icons. You can go to Feather Icons' website, download it for free. Wherever you have icons, try to use these. These are slightly more stylized. They're nicer looking, and it'll really make your design stand out. Let's talk about colors. I'll quickly talk about colors and how you can do that. Even for colors, I think people have difficulty picking them because they're like, shit, there's hundreds of colors. How do I pick them? I'm going to give you a quick tip, which is I'm going to open this website called Coolors, which is a color scheme generator. However, I'm not going to use all of it. I'm going to use one particular part. So let's go here. Let's hit start the generator. And what we're going to do is we're going to press the space bar. I'm going to generate a bunch of this thing. Keep doing this till you find something that looks good to you. So let's say this blue is something you want to do. Hit the lock button here, hit space bar, find another. Now the thing is, you don't really need 5 colors for your app. I would say there are about 5, not these 5 colors, but every app has grays, right? So you will have gray, white, black. What you need is a primary color, which is, you can think about it as sort of your brand color. This is the color you will use on like call to action buttons. You might use this on colored text. You might use this for links. Have a primary color, right? Maybe the primary color can sort of be related to the project you're doing, if possible. Otherwise, it's chill. And then try to find a secondary color, which is a color that goes along with it. So for example, with this blue, these don't look great at all. I might, for example, I might not choose red and green. Red and green is typically used for success and error states. But I might use something which is closer to maybe orange or this pink. So what you can do is once you find something you like these two, for example, seem nice to me, just take a quick screenshot or copy the hex code, put it in your code, try it out, or put it in your Figma, copy paste the image here and try that out. So that's my next tip, which is colors. So I'm now coming towards the end. And folks in the chat, we're going to open Q&A. So please get your questions ready. We're going to talk about the next tip here. And this is the penultimate tip, second last, which is people care about outcomes and not features. What do I mean by this? When, as an engineer, when you're presenting your stuff, most people talk about features first. They say, I've included this amazing library which does this, which does that. And this is important because it's a hackathon. You are being judged on your tech skills. But I would say sometimes people get so lost in the stack they've used, in the tech they've used, in the small, minute details there, that the people who are judging the hackathon, keep in mind that they're not always engineers. They might be product managers. They might be, the CEO might be sitting there. You might have people from other teams. You want to talk about what does the feature do to get an outcome. You don't want to say, I have 10 features. You want to say, what's the two main outcomes that it helps? And then you can get into features that, it's made up of. Keep this in mind. People don't care about your product. This is now maybe not a hackathon tip. Maybe this is a very general product tip as well. People don't care about your product. People care about what the product can do for them. Can somebody add that in the chat? I want to just remember that. And I want people to, remember this. People don't care about your product. They care about what your product can do for them. What that means is people don't really care so much about your features. Maybe they'll get into your features once they are convinced, but they want to know what the product can do for them. So in terms of the hackathon, what I would say is your presentation shouldn't be feature 1, feature 2, feature 3. Sell it. Talk about the problem statement. Talk a little bit about why it's important, and then get into what you're trying to do. Now, of course, this is a hackathon. You will have to talk about the technical details. So you will have to talk about your features. You might have to, in fact, there's 3 levels to it actually. Now that I think about it, there's outcomes, which is at the top. Then there's features. Then there are tech details. Right? If you think of this as the stack, ideally you want to start with outcomes first, which is, I'm designing this. What is the point? What's the purpose? What can it do for you? What can it do for the company? Then you want to talk about features. Like, this is how we are doing it. But even here, you want to keep emphasizing on what outcome that feature is helping. And then you want to get into the tech details, but not directly into the tech details. I hope you guys understand that, because now we're coming to the final one. We're coming to the final tip number 7. And then we'll do Q&A. When I joined the previous presentation, I saw the point about plagiarism. And definitely you don't want to plagiarize. However, tip number 7, this is going to be kind of controversial. How many of you have heard this quote? Good artists copy. Great artists steal. Can somebody tell me what does this mean? Because if I end the presentation here, you might plagiarize and you might be disqualified from the hackathon. But I still want to make this 7 point. What I mean by this is, plagiarism is when you take something, you use it without giving credit, pretending it's yours, and you only take it from one source of inspiration, right? You might sometimes think about this. What's the difference between inspiration and stealing? Right? Is inspiration just a classy way of saying, I stole that other thing? Keep this in mind. It's very useful checking out other apps, seeing how somebody else does it. If you're designing a particular solution, it would be good if you find 5 other solutions which are similar, just to get ideas. Or let's talk in the context of the company. If you are designing something that's related to Headout, you want to understand what Headout has already done. You don't want to create something that's so disconnected that people are like, it doesn't make sense. So in some level, this is connected to research, which is you want to make sure that you understand the problem space first before you attempt the solution. So do a lot of research. However, the difference between plagiarism, which is stealing, and inspiration is that don't just have one source that you're stealing from. Google extensively. That's not something I have to tell you. I'm sure most of you are anyway going to do that. Pick inspiration that you can, right? Some of these things you can use in your product, and it might just be a very subtle thing. If you are using like a framework or a library or something like that, you want to always try to give credit, right? So that's what I would say. That's tip number 7. That is it for my presentation, folks. What I want to give you before we get into Q&A is I prepared a little something for you guys. You can go to this link. And we talked a bunch of stuff about presentation. However, we didn't really get into how exactly do you create it. While I was brainstorming the ideas for this presentation, I was actually trying to make a presentation about presentation, but then I decided to do design instead. So that other idea, I recorded it anyways. So if you want to watch the Loom video, it's a 10-minute video on how to present. Ideally, you can watch that, maybe Saturday, Sunday before your final submission. And that'll give you some tips. So that's bit.ly/abnux-hackout. And now we can open to Q&A.
All right, all right, all right. Thank you so much, Abhinav, for that awesome presentation. Let's have Abhinav OP in the chat. Abhinav OP for the awesome, awesome tips that he shared. And this talk doesn't end here. There's another URL you should go to. You should definitely go to check out what Abhinav can teach us about presenting. And now there are some questions. One of the first questions that came in, Abhinav, was how do you find out trends in UI?
I would say the tricky thing with the trends is trends keep changing. It's almost like if you pick a trend that's current and then 6 months later that trend goes away, your product is going to look outdated. It's going to look outdated and you're going to be like, people are going to be like, oh, what is this? It looks like it's from 2007. Right? Neomorphism is cool right now. But a year later, people are going to look at it and they're going to cringe. They're going to be like, a better approach would be to go for something that's timeless, right? So for example, there's one resource you can check out called ant.design. It's like a nicer bootstrap. Let me just put it that way. It's a front-end framework. It's not neomorphism. You won't find this on Dribble. However, it's a really nice framework, front-end framework that you can use to make things look better. It might not be a trend. You might not be able to make a Dribble shot, but ideally you want to avoid trends and you want to pick something that's timeless. Yeah.
Very interesting. And what is a great balance you would say on a presentation between technical stuff, tech stack, product features, problem statements? I think Aishwarya, Abhinav covered that. You want to zoom into that area, outcome focus. Yeah, you want to cover it in that triangle, outcomes first, feature next, and everything else tech later.
I like this analogy of the inverted triangle, also because this is very similar to the mindset people have when you're presenting. Initially, before you start, the outcomes are endless. People are like, what are they going to talk about? What did they do? Then you tell them the problem statement. It gets a little bit more narrow. And people are like, oh shit, like I did the same problem statement. What are they going to say? And then your presentation is this triangle because you're giving them more details as you keep going forward. And eventually by the end of it, they should very clearly know what you've done. So you can think about that.
Awesome. One last question that I have for right now, Abhinav, and I'm sure there will be many more questions in the AMA session, is from Madman asking, I saw in Dribble a lot of crazy colors used by the designers, but it looks very good, but I can't choose something like that, like for a finance app, right?
Yeah. So what I would say is, my specific advice before I give general advice Specific advice would be if you're designing a finance app, what color should it be? It's very obvious. It's on your mind already. Green, right? Green is the color of money. That would be your most obvious choice. And then you can make it look a little nicer. Maybe you can do dark mode with green, which makes the green stand out. When you look at Dribble, it's not a lot of crazy colors. There's actually 2-3 colors. They use pinks, purples, and gradients a lot, which if you use in a finance app will not make it look like a finance app. So I would say more than thinking about what's a trending color, what's a popular color, think about what makes sense. And ideally, you want to choose the safe option, not really the most fancy option. Yeah.
Awesome. And you can ask, like I said, more questions to Abhinav during our AMA session. Thank you so much for joining us, Abhinav, and giving us awesome tips. And do check out all the links of the speakers in the description below, or if it's not there, it'll get updated by the evening. Once again, let's have Abhinav OP in the chat and thank him. And you're gonna hear, you can ask him more questions on the Discord AMA. Thank you, Abhinav, once again.
Definitely. Thanks, everyone. See you on Discord.
All right. Let's have Abhinav OP in the chat. Let's have it. And thank you so much, folks, for joining in. Thank you so much for joining in for the opening ceremony. And right now, what is the most awesome thing is you can go to Speaker AMA's session on Discord. All right, Abhinav OP is happening in chat. Abhinav OP is happening. All right, you can go to, if you go to Discord, go to Speaker AMAs, and there you can ask and put your questions. We'll be beginning at 5 for speaker questions. Yep. So that's when we begin. You can ask more specific questions to specific speakers, and make sure you come and join us for the next sessions tonight, starting at 7 p.m. Make sure you're subscribed so you get notified. Hit that bell icon so you get notified when we start the next session. And now is the time to let the hacking begin. All the best to all of you participants, and thank you so much for joining in once again. See you in Discord and have fun hacking. Happy hacking, all of you.